Hey, Jennifer here. Welcome to Crafting in Carrollville. If you're new, I'm so glad you found us. If you're a returning subscriber, I really appreciate you. Thank you to all the people who've subscribed in the last just over a month. We started our channel and I'm so thankful that you're here. I would love it if you could like, comment, share, do all the things that will help us be successful on YouTube. This particular video is about how we can make things in bulk. I showed you in my last thrift haul video, our first thrift haul video, if you watched it, how I was going to upcycle those tin hearts that we found. And so in this video, I've done that. You can see that I was able to make 10 of those. So these are exactly how these items are going to be displayed at our next show. And I'm going to show you in this video how we made them quickly, easily, and how you can make your items quickly in bulk, and how you can save money while you do it, and how you can have some high profit, low cost items for your booth. If you do shows like we do, if you do a booth, these are all applicable to those scenarios. If you just craft to have fun, you'll also learn some great techniques in these videos. We're going to get right into the project now, and then after we've completed the projects, I'll come back on here and we'll talk about what's coming up at Crafting in Carrollville and at the Barnyard Boutique. So the last time you saw these tins, they were stuck together in a little muffin type pan that I actually rescued from the bins. And I pulled them apart on camera and I told you what I was going to do with them. Well, before I did anything with them, I decided they needed to look older and rusty and crusty. Now, there are a lot of different ways that you can get that rust effect. You can use cinnamon. I've heard you can use toilet bowl cleaner. There's a lot of different ways to make rust happen, but I have found the very best and the most authentic way to do it is just by mixing a solution of peroxide and vinegar and salt, putting your items in, and in a couple hours they go from the first picture to what you just saw on your screen. It only takes a few hours and you get the most authentic, textured rust. It's the real deal. So if you ever need to make rust, just remember to buy hydrogen peroxide, white vinegar, and regular table salt, and it takes about 2 hours to go from shiny new to rusty crusty. So now that I have my hearts rusted, I painted them just with a regular chalk paint. I'm not really using my bougie expensive paint on this. I'm covering them and sealing them well because I don't want that rust to come back through the paint and tint the paint necessarily, even though it's not going to bother me if it does, because that's the whole purpose here. I want these to look very vintage and old. We are going to Vintage Market Days. That's our next destination. So here I am just touching up the faces of them again with the paint, and then what I do is I spray them with a couple coats of the Mod Podge acrylic sealer so that they stay just exactly like they are right now. My next step in this process is going to be just to let the paint dry, and then I'm ready to add my images. And we did this a couple videos ago. We did water slide paper. That's what we're doing today. You can see beside me I have a shallow dish of lukewarm water, more hot than cold, and then I'm soaking my image in the water for up to 30 seconds. I can tell when the image is ready when I hold it between my thumb and my forefinger, and it slides easily when I try to slide it. Hence, water slide paper. I like the Hippo brand, and I will leave you a link to Amazon so you can look at that. So you can see this is the easiest, fastest way to transfer images in bulk. So I have 10 of these to do, and if I could show you in real time, it would be about as quick as this video. This video is sped up twice, but it is super quick. So if you have an interest in making items in bulk, water slide is definitely the way to go. After you've slid your image onto the surface, Then you just I take a damp paper towel and I wipe the water out from under the paper. You can see here I can lift the paper. I'm lifting the paper. Apparently I didn't think I had it in the right place. So I just lift it up and put it back down. And you can do that. So you can do that more easily if you remember to wet the surface a little bit before you apply the paper. So that's always a good option. You can see you have plenty of wiggle room here, and sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes, you get it right the first time. Sometimes you don't. So, anyway, here we go. I'm just, I don't think I make all 10 of these for you, but I want you to see how easy water slide paper is. Because, obviously, if you're not an artist and you don't have your own artwork to apply to a surface like this and make multiples of, you can get graphics. Okay, so now we're going to finish these off with just a little beaded hanger. So I'm tying a knot at the top of my hanger and I'm going to bead it. I'm tying a knot so that the beads stay where I put them. And then you'll see I take a little bit of masking tape and I tape those two strands of twine together so that they're like a needle, so that I can thread my beads easily without having to fight the process. It's just so much easier to do it that way. Y'all might have the eyes to do it another way, but I don't. So these beads came from a combination of Aldi beaded garlands that I found on clearance and beaded garlands that I found at Walmart on clearance, which is a great source for beads, pre-colored beads, beads of every shape and size. You can find at the end of season clearance sales at, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, wherever. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on beads. And if you're not like checking Aldi out for home decor things that you can treat like blanks and redo, y'all need to be doing that because Aldi has some great finds. Anyway, so you can see what I've done there is I've just threaded it through a hole that I drilled at the top of those hearts, and now I'm tying it off. Easy peasy. Now, this next one I love. These are perpetual calendars. They come from the Dollar Tree, and I order them in bulk because I sell them in bulk. People buy them, 1, 2, 3, 4 at a time. They buy them for their office mates, and so we always have these as part of our inventory. And normally, what I do when I buy them is I just take them apart like you see me doing now, and I store them. I'm only after the boxes and the cubes with the months and the numbers. I'm not after those backings. I'm going to make my own backings with those wood planks you see there. I've already taken them out to my miter saw, and I've sawn them so that they're the right height for my perpetual calendar. You can see the little cutoff pieces there at the top of the screen or at the bottom of the screen. Those are just little scraps that I'll save to do I'll practice wood burning on them or something. They won't go to waste, but here I am. I'm just painting that cube, and like I said, I'm only after those parts and the numbers and the months. I replaced the backings with something much more substantial, and those are wood planks that I got at the Dollar Tree. They come 6 to a pack, and they're a little tall for this project, so I just cut them down. And apparently I needed those to be white instead of black, so I painted them white instead of black. They make several varieties of this particular item, and they normally come out, I want to say they come out around Valentine's Day every year. They're considered a last-minute gift item, so I haven't been very successful in finding them online because I can't find the SKU number on them. So eventually I will find them, but I have not done that yet. So like I said, I take them apart as soon as I buy them, and I put them in a canister, and I always have a few dozen on hand because they're just a staple at our shows. And I don't use every piece of artwork I have on them because not every piece of artwork I have is formatted this way so that it can go in a portrait orientation. I do have some things that are more of a landscape orientation. So I make a few varieties of these every year, and in this case, I'm using my pig again. You're going to get tired of seeing that pig. That's Kevin and Kira, but they are my newest piece that we added to the Barnyard Boutique collection last year. So I do have one piece coming out soon. If you follow me over on social media, you'll see that I'm working on an old pickup truck that's very Americana. It has a flag coming out of the truck bed. It's really neat. It's very pretty. We took the picture in Bushnell, Florida. So if you're familiar with Bushnell, Florida, then you're pretty familiar with Florida because it's kind of out of the way. So I'm just using hot glue to attach that that little window back in onto my backboard there. And you can see this is another one of those projects that is going to come together really quickly. So again, I'm using water slide paper. You're going to find out that this is my favorite transfer medium, and after this video you'll know why, because everything happens so quickly when you use water slide paper. It is no fuss, no muss. And so if you're an artist and you have artwork to distribute and you're trying to slap it on, you know, a bunch of different items, this was a godsend for me. Like I love this product. So same process. It does, you know, feel differently as it goes on wood than it does on metal. And you'll see that, you know, like if you apply it to ceramic, it's very slippery, obviously. So on wood, you probably have less grace than I did when you saw me apply it to tin. But it's still, this is by far my favorite transfer method. So I'm making a few of these. I think I make 5 or 6 of these, and then I also use the image that I showed you a few weeks ago that I had turned into decoupage paper. So, and that's the great thing about if you're an artist, if you create artwork, I encourage you every single time to have your pieces scanned at a professional print shop so that they're digitized. And then you can do absolutely anything you want to do with them. I absolutely love that. So, you know, if you don't get anything else from this video and you love art, get that. Have your artwork scanned. Now we're working on that mama and baby cow image. You're going to see this one is more horizontal than the pig. And you're going to see that when I put the water slide paper onto the back there, I'm kind of going to bend it around the edges because it's a little wider than it needed to be. But then, I don't know if I show it, but when it dries, I'm just going to sand that off like I would if I had decoupaged this image onto the wood. So you can treat water slide paper just like you do just about any other transfer medium. So here we go with another one. These are happening, you know, just about as fast as you're seeing them happen. These projects come together really quickly, and that's what I need. I'm sure that y'all need that too. If you do resale, if you do shows, if you have a booth, you need things you can make in a hurry. Inventory runs out, and you know, you've got to keep, if you have to keep a booth stocked, if you have, you know, big 3-day shows looming in your future, this is a good way to make a lot of things in bulk. So here we go. I think I just have one more of those, and then I'm going to show you how I embellish them. That's always the fun part of any project, is figuring out how you're going to finish them. I love that part of every project, because that's where the real artist comes out. That's where the real artistry happens. Oh, and note to self, like, don't ever use a yellow silicone mat like that to film, because look, everything is yellow. Like, and when I use the pink one, everything is pink. And when I use the blue one, everything was blue. So don't ever do that. That's like words of wisdom to live by from Jennifer. Don't do that. I'll remember. In fact, I bought those because, look, you can paint on them. And then literally you can just soak them and the paint falls right off, which I love. They're like Jennifer proof. But I got to find like some filming method that is Jennifer proof. So, so far, I have not figured that out. Like every single week, it's like a different mistake that I make. Like I can never just get it all right. It's like almost like halfway, 3/4 of the way right, but never 100%. So you know what though? I'm going to keep working at it. I really am. Like you can't stop me. All right, so you can see that when I'm holding that edge down and I'm sliding the paper out from under, I am keeping it flat. I'm not lifting my hand. I'm not lifting the paper. I'm just keeping it level. And that will help your image to stay exactly where you want it. And then, like I said before, I'm bending it around the edges, much like you would a transfer. And then I'm just going to take my little finger sander and sand it off. I don't think I showed that. I think right now I'm going to show you how I embellish them, how I finish them. So I'm going to start with some twine. This is twine from the Dollar Tree. You buy it in the hardware aisle of the Dollar Tree. I like this twine because it's nice and thin. I'm also, notice how I'm using my finger protectors because I'm tired of 3rd-degree burns on my fingers. And I just got my nails done between the last project and this project. I know, and it probably seems like I have ADD, and I was like sitting there crafting, and I'm like, wait, I gotta go get my nails done. Like, I'll be back. So if I ever like disappear from a video and you don't know where I am, I could be doing anything. I'm most likely looking for my scissors, but in this case, I went to get my nails done. So I'm using these little lavender sprigs here. You can see that there's some lavender in the picture there of the cows. I actually added that in a decoupage paper that I designed. But anyway, here I am. I'm gluing down these little lavender sprigs. And then I'm going to finish it off with a twine finger bow. And I'm sorry that I can't show that to you in real time. I will make a bow tutorial, but for now, I will tell you that Sammy Veltri at Unicorn Dust Designs does an excellent bow tutorial where she teaches you how to tie a finger bow. I learned this in the 2nd grade from a teacher's aide who actually was the first person in my life to realize that I had a propensity for art. I don't remember her name, but I remember what she looked like, and I remember her very well because she encouraged me. I grew up in the house of an artist. My mom was an artist. And so, you had to get really good at artwork before anybody noticed that you had an ability, because my mother was so gifted. She was such a great artist. And I had 2 older sisters. So it took me, it took my parents a long time to realize that I had the art bug. But it didn't take my 2nd grade teacher very long at all. So I remember that she taught me how to tie a finger bow, and I've never forgotten how. So I always put the date of the show in the window there of my perpetual calendar. So our Vintage Market Days starts on September 15th. So that's the date that will be displayed. And then I finish these off by taking clear packing tape and taping across the front all the way to the back so that nothing falls out. Because I've had a lot of people ask me if all the pieces are in there. Yes, they are in there. Nothing else will fit. So that's the way I finish those. I love those. They sell every single time. And now I'm going to finish off the pig in much the same way. I'm not going to use lavender. I'm going to use just little sprigs of boxwood. I also make these with a little blue truck that I drew. And with those I use sunflowers, and I also have another cow, and I do those with The Lord is My Shepherd in the background. And I forget what kind of flowers I embellish her with. But anyway, I make several different varieties of these. And like I said, they sell every single show. Here I am with finger bow again. I know you're never going to get it at that speed. But, chances are you might not get it anyway, because I am not good at teaching that particular thing. I try. Like every library workshop we have, just about, I do a workshop at the library once a month. And almost every project we make calls for a little finger bow. But I'm just not good at teaching it. The only person that's ever gotten it at my library class is a 15-year-old kid named Aiden. And he gets everything I do, every single thing. Most adorable person. He actually comes to the library and crafts with his mother, and I absolutely adore that. Like, I want every kid to go craft with their mom on Saturday. Anyway, again, September 15th through the 17th, I'm going to keep saying that. So if you're in my area, we are having our first Vintage Market Days of the season next month at the Lee Civic Center. And we're super excited. It's a 3-day show. It's a vintage experience. You don't want to miss it. And then the next month, in October, we're having Vintage Market Days in Tampa. So that will be a new market for us. We've never done the Tampa market. That's super exciting. We are so ready. So this is a rerun. No, you know what? No, so we're not so ready. Oh, let me change everything. Wait, it's the 25th. Today's the 25th. So we have 6 days, 21, 3 weeks to get ready. So in 3 weeks, I'll be ready. Let's just say that. It's a lot of work to get ready for Vintage Market Days. So you can see I'm just doing the same thing. I don't know why I had to show you twice, but apparently I needed to show you twice. So, you know, this is remedial. This is, you're doing it again. You're learning again. So same thing. I'm just using the boxwood. Listen, I am so glad that I'm making videos now, because in the past I've always forgotten like how I made things and if I made things this way or that way. Now I'll have video proof. This is how I made them. This is like, it's like a dictionary for me. I can go back and I can like look things up. There I am with the finger bow again. See there? And that's like so great, because if I forget how to make it, I can always watch this video and then I'll remember how to make it. You see, everything happens for a reason. Oh, I didn't mention this the first 4 times I did this for you. I'm using that long lighter just to burn those hairs off the bow. I don't know about y'all, but things like that drive me crazy. And I completely comprehend that my crafting area is a colossal mess right now, and y'all are seeing it. I know it's a travesty, but I'm busy. Like, I'm getting a lot of work done. So of course it's a mess, but my projects can't be a mess. That's not okay. So you can see I'm going to finish this off the same way. Take clear packing tape, wrap it from the front all the way to the back. I've tested these. It doesn't pull the paint off. And I sealed these. That's another thing I want to mention to you. I always seal water slide paper with the same Mod Podge acrylic sealer that I used to seal the water slide paper to begin with. So don't forget that at the end of your project, you want to give it a couple good coats of sealer. So here I am. Oh, look at that. Look at that cool wire basket. Where did I get that? I got that at the bins. So it probably cost me 50 cents. I love it. And it was, when I saw it, I knew exactly what I was going to do with it. I was going to put my perpetual calendars in there. I have another container I keep them in as well, but this is my new one and I really like it. All right, so now I'm going to show you really quick how I do 8 of these. Just super quick. They all happen just as fast as you're seeing there. So I bought these Hello Fall signs at Hobby Lobby at the end of the season last year. And I know they say the right thing, but they don't say the right thing for me, because I don't do a lot of fall things. Basically, we keep it about my artwork. You can see I've taken their part. I've pulled all the little finish nails out. I don't need them. And then I'm just taking a picture that I printed out right in my home photo printer, and I'm sticking it in there with hot glue. It's that easy. I'm not doing anything more complicated than that. I'm making sure there's no hot glue seeping out. And as simple as that, I have 8 of these done. It literally took me minutes to do. And I probably paid less than $1 for those little tiny signs. I don't buy things unless they're on their deepest discount. So I know I probably paid less than $1 for those. You can see. I mean, look how simple that was. And he is my best seller by far. Okay, these I only had 3 of. Again, I think these came from Michael's. They're that, oh gosh, I think it's Ashley. I don't remember. It's Ashley something. Ashley Lauren collection at Michael's. And these were, again, on a deep discount, so I bought them. I bought the little greenery sprigs at Walmart. They're actually left over from another project that we did at the library. And so all I did was paint out the little faces. They said something on that little place where the pig is. They said like love lives here or something like that. I just painted it out with chalk paint. I made sure that the paint matched. And then again, I used water slide paper to transfer those pigs or that pig onto the face there. And you can see I'm just finishing it off with those sprigs and a finger bow. I've thought about maybe coming back and putting beads at the end of the... I hope y'all enjoyed those projects. I hope that they were easy to follow and that you can get some great ideas for how you can make your own craft items in bulk. It's always nice to have some smalls at your shows or in your booths that you can offer in a basket, in bulk, and that's just a great thing to always have on hand. $5 or $10 items that people can buy just as an afterthought sometimes. So anyway, like I said before, we have 2 vintage market days coming up, one in September and one in October. And so the links on how you can get tickets if you're in my area will be in the description box. And also any links that I talked about in the video will be in the description box. I hope y'all can come back next week. I think next week again is going to be some upcycles that I'm working on for Vintage Market Days. I know that I showed you in my bins haul a scale, an old vintage scale, and that I was going to upcycle, and just some different upcycles that I'm working on for events coming up. So we're going to be doing a lot of fun upcycles, DIYs, things like that I think you'll enjoy. We're going to use those Dixie Belle paints that I talked about. We're going to use the transfers that I showed you in that haul video. Anyway, I'm so glad y'all came today. Please subscribe, like, comment, do all the things that are going to help me achieve success on YouTube. I appreciate you. Please leave me a nice comment. Let me know that you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again next week.